Hello everyone, today we're going to discuss this lead code medium problem number 322 coin change. Right. So first of all, let me read out the question statement. You're given coins of different denominations and a total amount of money, right, which is amount. Write a function to compute the fewest number of coins that you need to make up that amount. If that amount of money cannot be made up by any combination of the coins, return -1. So this problem is we're going to use DP to solve this problem. How to get to the DP solution we'll talk about in the question explanation / approach part. So without wasting any time, let's get into the approach part of this question. So as I already mentioned that we are going to be using the DP solution for this question. But the important question is how to reach to the DP solution, right? So the first approach that comes to mind while solving this kind of problem is greedy. But the greedy approach isn't correct. First of all, let's look at what the greedy approach for this question is, and then we'll explain that why is it incorrect, right? So consider this example where the denominations given are 1, 2, 5 and the amount is 10. So how the greedy solution works is that we find the maximum number amongst the given denominations which is just less than the amount to be formed. So for this we pick up 5 and then subtract 10 and then subtract 5 from 10 to get the remaining amount as 5 and then solve it further for this remaining amount. Similarly, for this also we take up 5 and then that's the end of the solution. So in this case, this is working fine. Right? This is the correct solution. We need only 2 coins to form 10 with these given denominations. But the greedy solution won't always work. Let's just take an example where the greedy solution doesn't work. For example, we have to make an amount 13 and we have denominations of 1, 6, 7 and 9. So according to the greedy solution, we pick up this 9, we subtract it. What we are left with is 4. Now we can't pick 6 or 7, we have to pick 4 ones. So that means the total coins will be 4 1 denomination coins and 1 9 denomination coin. Total coins will be 5. But as clearly evident, we can solve this with 2 coins by just selecting 6 and 7, and these 2 coins form 13. 6 plus 7 is equal to 13. So this is where the greedy solution doesn't work, right? So now let's understand how do we reach the DP solution from it. Now that I have understood that I need to try for any given state, I need to try for all the denominations and check whether picking this coin is the optimum solution or not, right? If it is optimum, then this is the right answer. If it is not optimum, then I have to try further in all the other denominations, right? So if I start solving this, let's take up this example only. 13, 1, 6, 7 and 9. So we have the amount 13 with us. We can pick 9, 6, 7 and 1. Let's say I've picked up 9. From 9 I have to solve for 4. Now we have only one option, picking up 1, 1, 1 and 1. Right. So let's say I've picked up 6. Now I have only left with the one option 7, and that is it. Actually I can pick here 7 and say 7 and 1. Right. So I solve for this, that for 6 and 7 it is the tree is solved. For 1 I will solve for 6. And then I have two options again, to pick up 6, to pick up 1, and so on and so forth. Similarly for 7 I can pick up 6 and I can pick up 1. Notice how I am only picking up the values that are lesser than the remaining amount, right? Because picking up a greater value than the amount makes no sense, because if I have denomination of some x and the amount is y, if x is greater than y, no matter how many coins of x you pick, you can never form to y, right? This is basic algebra. Right. For 1 I have the following. I can pick all the rest. I can pick 6, 7, 9 and 1, and so on and so forth. We solve this tree, right? So the observation from this tree is that at any given step I have to compute some states which are computed earlier also. So for example, for 6, if I'm computing, I'm picking up 7 and 1, right? So after picking up 6, the amount remaining is 7. After picking up this 1 again, the amount remaining is 6, right? I'm just gonna stop here and take an example for 7 also. For 7 I have the following options: to pick up 6, to pick up 1. Sorry, I forgot to mention 6 as well, right? Now these are the only two options because I can't pick 7 because the remaining amount is 6. So if I've picked 1, that is left with 6. That is there is a total amount is now 8. So we are left with 5. And here also if I pick one more further, I am left with 5. Now you see this is a repeating state. So I have to calculate the minimum to reach to this 5 will be the minimum of this entire. If I calculate the minimum for this 5 will be the minimum of this entire. So this is an overlapping subproblem. Overlapping subproblem. Right. So that means that calculating one state would mean solving for multiple states at a time. What does this mean? That similarly to this example, if I am calculating for 5's state, I am actually also adding the state of 6 and 7. Right. So now let's talk about how the DP solution will work. So I will be needing a DP array of size, amount, plus 1. Right. How will I start filling it? For the first 0th index, I can fill 0 because for 0 amount, I need 0 coins, irrespective of the denominations. Right. Next up, if there is only 1 rupees, right? For 1 rupee, can I just directly without iterating through the denominations? No. Why? Because it's possible that the first denomination given is 2. So I cannot judge for 1. Right? Right. So what is the next step? For every this, so now I will run a loop for I is equal to 1 to n. Right. I have to fill this with amount plus 1 because that is the maximum that could go. So I have to fill it with amount plus 1. Right. Why amount plus 1? The question is why amount plus 1? Because this is the worst case possible. How is this the worst case possible? Suppose you have only one coin which is of denomination 1. So how many coins can you pick for this amount? Now this is the worst case. For the impossible case is that you have to pick amount plus 1 coins. This can never be achieved. So that is why I have to fill it with amount plus 1. Right. Now in the loop, what I'll do, I'll run the loop for I equal to 1 to amount. This is to loop over all the amounts. And inside the loop, I'll check. I'll be first looping over all the coins. So the first check would be that if the current coin, suppose this is, we are iterating this as j variable. If the current index j of coins, if this is greater than I is the current amount that we're looping over. Now this is not possible since we had talked about picking only the picking only the smaller coin denomination from the amount. So we'll do nothing. But if it is less than or equal to, so I'll find a previous state where this subproblem for coins of j after picking this value is solved. What that means is that dp of I minus coins of j, as seen earlier, this is the new amount after picking of jth coin. Right. So for example, if I was talking about this, so once I've come here, I've picked this coin, right? So what is the leftover amount? 4. So I have to now calculate a sub problem for the amount 4 and not 13. This is exactly what this is. This is this sub problem, right? But is this the optimum? This might or might not be optimum. So I'll keep a check. the final dp of I is going to be equal to 1 plus, I'll name it as S, or the current dp of I. Why 1 plus? Because what is S? S is for this 4, right? But I have already picked one more coin 9, so that means I have to add 1. What this OR is, I have to pick up the minimum value from this and this, right? So for suppose I'm gonna run the first iteration over this example itself. So I've picked up. Suppose I've picked up the first coin, which is 1. For I equal to 13 itself, suppose I'm running. So I calculate for dp of 12. Then I calculate for dp of 13 minus 6, 7. dp of 13 minus 7, 6. And dp of 13 minus 9, 4. Right? So from these values, I have to also keep a track of minimum. So this is exactly what that statement did. It kept a track of what is the minimum currently going, or will the new minimum be 1 plus the new subproblem. So suppose for reaching 12, I was needing some 5 coins for an example. Suppose for 6, I was needing 1 coin. Suppose for 7 also I was needing 1 coin. And for 9, I was needing 4 coins. Sorry, for 4, I was needing 4 coins. Right. So what this will do is it will find all these sub problems and find the minimum of those. So if the dp of I currently set is the lesser value from the new sub problem, we won't have to change it. So this is the approach we're going to take. How we're going to fill this is in a bottom up manner. So first we initialize all to amount plus 1. Then we take this value as 0, right? And for every array I iterate for I equal to 1 to n, right? And for j in coins, what I find S is equal to dp of I minus coins of j. This is when if I is greater than coins of j. And then finally dp of I is equal to minimum of dp of I comma 1 plus s. So that is the entire algorithm for it. And now we jump into the coding part. We've looked at the approach that we're going to take. Let's get right into the coding part. Alright, so let's start coding this problem. So first of all, what I need is the size of the coins vector. So int n equal to coins dot size that I've got here. Right. Next, what we need is to check some base cases. If the given amount is equal to 0, well, this means that amount is given as 0. So the only way to form 0 amount is what? By picking up 0 coins. So we'll return 0. Right. So next base case is if n equal to 1. That means only 1 coin is given to us. So in this case, first of all, we have to check two conditions. If amount of 0, if amount divided modulus coins of 0 is not equal to 0, that means the amount is not a multiple of the given denomination. So that means no matter how many coins we pick of that one denomination, we'll never be able to form the amount. For example, amount is given as 4 and the coin is given as 3. So no matter how many coins of 3 you pick, you'll never be able to form 4, right? Or amount is less than coins of 0. Now what this means is that suppose you're given an amount of 3 and coins under only denomination of coin is 4. Again, you'll never be able to form this. Why? Because no matter how many coins of 4 you pick, you'll never be able to form 3 because it is lesser than it. So in this case, we'll have to return -1, right? Else, we'll return amount divided by coins of 0. So suppose the coin of 0 is given as 3 and the amount is given as 9. So we can pick 3 coins of 3 to form 9, and that is what we are returning, right? The quotient of it. Right. So now let's get into the DP part of it. So we're going to define an integer dp of amount plus 1, the size. Why are we doing this? Because we will return the dp at the amount index, and because of the zero based indexing we need one higher, right? So we've done this. Now the next step is for int I equal to 0, I less than equal to amount plus plus I, we're going to initialize this dp array. Dp of I is equal to amount plus 1. Why is amount plus 1? Because it's the worst case when given coin is of only one denomination and we have some x amount. So to form x we have to pick one x coins, right? And if so that is the worst case. So we have taken one more case extra because of the case where it cannot be formed, right? So now what we have to do, we have to also initialize dp of 0 as 0, as seen in the base case also. If amount is 0 then we have to simply return 0, so we have done that, right? Now we need to run a loop for int I is equal to 1, I less than equal to amount plus plus I. This is for initializing, this is for getting the value of the dp array according to the conditions. And then again for int j equal to 0, j less than n plus plus j. This is to iterate over the coins array, right? So now we will define a sub problem. How we will define it? Like if I minus coins of j is greater than equal to 0. What this means, that if the current amount, now I is iterating over the amount, right? If the current amount is greater than the coins of j, that means this particular coin can be picked in our solution because it is lesser than the amount, right? This might be picked. So we'll define the sub problem. What the sub problem will find is dp of I minus coins of j. What this means is find the number of coins needed to form the amount that was equivalent of the current amount minus the amount formed after picking this coin. So this will go to that step, and we'll finally initialize, we'll finally put dp of I is equal to minimum of dp of I and sub problem plus 1. Why plus 1? Plus 1 is because suppose x coins were needed to form the previous state, so we have picked one more coin which is the jth coin to form this answer, right? So we've initialized this. Now that's the end of the loop, that's all. Now at the end what we have to return, this is important. Okay, I'm missing a bracket here. So at the end what we have to return is this return. Now we'll check if dp of amount is greater than amount. What this means? This means that dp of amount has never been modified because it was initialized to amount plus 1. That means it is greater than amount and we have never been able to reach this particular state, right? So we'll return minus 1. Or what we return? We return dp of amount. Alright, so let's go through the code once again. If I've made it, if n equal to coins dot size, right, that's okay. Then amount equal to 0, return 0. If n equal to 1, amount modulus coins is not equal to 0, right? Then I've initialized the dp here and I've put all the values as amount plus 1 and dp of 0 equal to 0. Now for I equal to 1, I less than equal to amount plus plus I, dp of I have to initialize dp of I is equal to minimum of dp of I slash sub problem plus 1, right? And return this. Alright, so this looks fine, and let's try to run this code. Yeah, so this is fine. Let's try submitting it as well. So yes, as you can see, 92 milliseconds and memory usage less than 94%. And okay, so let's go to the entire code once again. So first you've taken the size of the vector, and now we've checked for the base cases. Base cases are if amount is 0, we return 0. That is, no coin needs to be picked if the amount is 0. If the number of coins given is exactly 1, we find if this amount is a multiple of the given denomination. If not, we return minus 1, and also this amount should be less than the given amount of given denomination. Alright, else we return the number of coins needed to form this amount, which is amount divided by coins of 0. Okay. In dp amount plus 1, we've initialized a dp array and we've put all the values as amount plus 1 for the worst case possible, and then dp 0 is equal to 0 because of the base case as explained as well, that 0 coins need 0. 0 amount needs 0 coins. For int I equal to 1, I less than equal to amount I plus plus, we iterate over the various amounts formed to fill this DP array. For int j equal to 0, j less than n, plus plus, this is to iterate over the coins array, coins vector. If I minus coins of j is greater than equal to 0, this means that the given amount for which we are finding an answer should be greater than the particular coin that we're going to pick. Now in sub problem is equal to dp of I minus coins, that is going to the previous state, and dp of I is equal to minimum of dp of I and sub problem plus 1. What this means is that the given current state needs to be calculated for the, if it is already initialized at some point, then dp of it should be it should remain dp of I, or it should be adding 1 to the sub problem that we have found. Right, so that is all about the code. I hope you liked the video, and if you did like it, please share, like, subscribe and comment for the feedback. I'll be coming back with more videos soon. Thank you.